Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Go Show. It's been a long time since we've been here. We've all been super busy with other projects, and just time gets away from you. So we are back. It is 2024. Holy, where did the time go? I am Sika, and I am one of the hosts here at the Go Show.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm a psychic medium and another host on the Ghost Show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian, and I am a paranormal researcher and a paranormal investigator.
And I guess I should say what I do. I'm an afterlife switchboard operator. That's just a fancy name for being a medium.
I like that.
So we've been away for ages, and we wanted to kick off the show with something a little bit different. Now, I have been on some adventures in the United States. We ended up purchasing a property in South Louisiana, and I've been so privileged to be able to meet a ton of really new, interesting paranormal folks down there. It's really pretty shocking how prevalent it is. But let's face it, New Orleans, anywhere you go in Louisiana, there's so much history. And so there's all of these really old homes, a lot of antebellum homes, a lot of homes that are even older than that. Some go back to, gosh, the 1700s even. And then we have more modern homes. But there's a real interesting mix of all kinds of paranormal stuff down there. And I attended a interesting Paracon recently. It was called Cajun Country Paracon in New Iberia. And that was just back in March, and I met all kinds of amazing people. And so at that event, I met a couple of gents, Charles and Wesley, and they had this really interesting, I want to say, Airbnb. Now, you can rent on Airbnb. You can go there and you can stay. It's called the Steamboat Inn, and it's in a little place called Centerville. And for people who don't really know Louisiana at all, or South Louisiana, Centerville is between Morgan City and Franklin. And that is sort of halfway to Lafayette. So if you were to say Houma to Lafayette, Franklin's kind of in the middle, but Centerville is obviously the middle, or what they consider the middle. We were really lucky to be able to stay at this really cool old antebellum home, but it was always an inn. It became a private residence for a very short period in its life, but it was built to be an inn, and today it remains an inn. It's just wild. I
bet it is. These places in the South have some real history, don't they?
They do. And this one is no different. It was just a lot of fun to stay. We didn't go there with the absolute intention to do any kind of paranormal investigation, but as you know, Rachel, it doesn't matter where we go.
I certainly know that. That's right.
Investigation. It just happens. So
it does.
It really was a fun thing. Now, I've got some great videos. When we got there the first day, we didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we saw a beautiful brochure when we were at the Paracon, and it showed the house, and it talked about all the lovely rooms, but we didn't really have a feel for it from the brochure. And when we got there, we were so intrigued. I mean, it is a beautiful old home. I believe there's 5 bedrooms in there. And they've got it appointed in a way that makes you feel like you're walking into an old antebellum home with people that have money. It's really worth staying there, and it's so reasonably priced. It's crazy. It's the price for an overnight stay is very reasonable. And as I said, we were there for 3 days. So we had the place to ourselves the second and third night. The first night, there was a couple there, and they were staying on the main floor in the main suite, and we were upstairs in room 2. And this was really interesting because, well, let's face it, I wasn't
So was
anticipating
that on the first floor or which floor was your
floor. There's
room?
only one bedroom on the main floor, and then the rest of
Oh,
the
right.
bedrooms are on the second floor. And then there is
Okay.
attic space. And I believe the
Mhm.
plans are to turn the attic space into a large, sort of like a bridal suite. It's huge,
Oh,
really gorgeous when they get there. But they've done a lot of work to this place to really, spruce it up and make it beautiful. Wes has done all of the interior design. He's very talented, and he really should be doing this. He's a hairstylist, but he's an amazing interior
ah,
designer. And Charles is lovely. Charles kind of mans the overall maintenance and all of the repair work, and he's sort of the handy guy. But together they're both really a really dynamic duo, and they've really brought this place up to almost, it's very posh inside. Very posh, but
it sounds very posh,
yeah, it's
very
really
fancy.
lovely, and it's comfortable. And Centerville is, there's really not a lot around Centerville in terms of, if you want to go out and do something exciting, there's no nightlife in Centerville. I take that back. There is in a weird sort of way. But at the same time, it's actually just a really lovely place to stay. The birds are chirping. There's beautiful, the Bayou Teche is just down at the end of the street, and you can take a boat ride. We went out on a boat ride. We took a boat ride into 6 Mile Lake, and we did a lot of fun things. But let's talk about why I'm
Okay.
I have a question.
Well, you've already
That,
sold me on it.
Obviously, there is a paranormal history connected to this building, just the fact that we're even talking about it. My question is do the owners acknowledge that there is some kind of a paranormal history to it, or are they totally skeptical about it and do
That's a
not
great question.
discuss anything like that?
Oh no, they're very up for the paranormal side of it. They've actually had paranormal groups come in, do overnights, and and they talk about it. I mean, if you're, it's not, I don't think they blurt it out to everybody that comes in, but certainly if they know that you're open to it, they will give you a little background on the property and the things that other people have picked up and experienced. So they are open to that, and they're always open to hearing more and more from people who stay.
Because I know that there are a lot of locations down there in Louisiana where these inns and beds and breakfast and like, say, for example, like Myrtle's Plantation,
Right.
They advertise, yes, this is a haunted location, and I'm gathering that these owners do not do that.
Well, I wouldn't say they don't.
Yeah.
They were at the Paracon, actually, there advertising the inn. So I do believe that, when it comes down to it, they do promote it to a degree. It's not something that you find listed on the Airbnb listing, but it's certainly prevalent in, when you talk with them or when you come into the home, and they will give you the rundown. Now, when we got there, I didn't want to know anything. I just wanted to know, where is my room? Where am I staying? And I didn't want to hear all
like the Sherman Inn.
Yes, I didn't want to hear anything ahead of time. So I kind of like la 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 because
right.
friends down there were like, oh, and I'm like, shh, no, I don't want
to. Yeah. I'm like that too when I go into when we do investigations. I'm the same way. I don't want to hear the myths, the legends, the whatevers,
right?
Because I'm not going to have anything sort of make me bias, or I want it to be a complete clean slate.
Yes, and that's it. And I mean, Ian, I know with you, because you're not sensitive in the way that we are, that you hear about those things. It doesn't really affect you either way with your equipment. I mean, it may
Right.
actually give you something more to pinpoint or work towards or target when you are investigating. But I know in the case of Rachel and I, we like to not know, so that what we do receive is more, I suspect, to say genuine in
Exactly.
what we're.
Authentic. Or yeah.
Yeah. So when we stayed there the first night, we I mean, obviously we knew there was some paranormal activity in the building. I'm not going to say we didn't
Of course.
know. We we had talked to people. I just didn't want to know the full story. I didn't want to know everything. And I did a full walkthrough video. It's quite long. It's almost 5 minutes, but it walks through the entire building itself. So you really get to see a nice layout. And there's some interesting little tidbits in that walkthrough, because I wasn't doing it as a paranormal walkthrough. I was just doing it with my phone and walking through, and there was some interesting things that happened.